JCPenney's, their new owners, if you've forgotten over the holiday, Simon Property Group and Brookfield, they announced that they have launched a search for a new chief executive officer to replace Jill Soltau, who will be leaving today, actually Thursday, January 7th. So not a lengthy exit there. It is one and done for Jill Soltau. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the first thing that I thought of when I read this headline was, do you think JCPenney's will last long enough for this new CEO search? Because in the interim,
That's
they're going
a really
to have,
funny question.
They're going to have Stanley Sashua as the interim CEO, who is the Simon Chief Investment Officer. But I'm like, man, how long do we got for this search, guys? Like, we'll get into it in the fifth story of this, but I don't know. It brings up other questions too, which I think we'll talk about for me after story number 2. But what do you guys think of this? Was it even a big deal to you?
You're short on this. Yeah, I got to let Emma go first because I have a feeling like the first 2 stories here, I'm going to go on some massive rants, like just get right into like full on Chris Walton here in 2021, the first show of the year. But Emma, what do you think of this?
I mean, I read the headline and I was like, yeah, whatever, and just scrolled past it. I think like there's so much more that needs to be done for JCPenney than like switch the CEO. And I really think they need to hire from outside. Don't necessarily take someone who just has that standard CEO of a big company kind of background. Like do something crazy. Hire someone who might actually have the potential to change the direction of this company.
Yeah, I think I got a question from the listener actually on this one earlier in the week. Like, do either of you guys think that there was anything she could have done?
No.
And Emma, you're saying no. Emma, the intern, says no. Like, it's just a lot. You just think it's a lost cause. And what do you think?
Well, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, she tried to, it was interesting. I read something that she said in an earnings call back in 2019. And, they waffled so much back and forth, like, who's our target demographic? We're going to go after millennial moms in 2016. And Jill Soltau came back in 2019. And she's like, no, our target guest is the shopping enthusiast who loves mall shopping and already makes purchases at JCPenney.
Which when I hear that crap, I'm just like, you're done. Yeah.
Right.
The shopping
exactly.
enthusiast. I hate that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that, no, there wasn't anything that she was going to be able to do, especially in 2 years. And now it's just become more of an important thing for Simon and Brookfield to be watching out for, because all of their mall leases are dependent on this JCPenney staying open. And if it closes, and then they have this like ripple effect of other issues. So yeah, it's a Band-Aid for now. And
Yeah. So you're kind of the same. You're kind of feeling the same way. I mean, here's my take on this. Like, and I found some interesting stats, which I think just shed a little bit of a different light on this story too. So I went to, I think it was salary.com, which I don't know if you know that website, but I just looked it up. I just did a search. What did Jill Soltau make in, 20, I think these numbers were from 2019. So her first year on the job. Okay. So they're a little bit old, but you get the point. I don't think it matters. She made, wait for it, Ann and Emma, the intern, $9.7 million in total compensation in 2019.
Where does that stack? Like, did they go ahead?
That's a great question, Ann. I actually happen to have that data.
Thank you.
$1.4 million of that was salary. Just $1.4 million in salary.
Okay.
This is interesting. $4.5 million was in bonus compensation. Okay, for a job well done in 2019. And then $3.75 million was in stock. And the residual, give or take about $100,000 if you're doing the math at home, which hopefully no one is, probably mostly like healthcare benefits and things like that. So we're talking almost $10 million. We paid somebody $10 million. The shareholders paid somebody $10 million to do a job that we just said probably wasn't even doable. So why the hell does that keep happening? And so that's my point here. And we called this in 2018. We said this hire stunk from the beginning. I mean, look at LinkedIn. Her background was she was the CEO of Jo-Ann Fabrics. How is that the person that is qualified to turn JCPenney's around? She wasn't the one to do it. And even if she was, like, it's probably not something that could be done. So why do we pay $10 million to someone to accomplish something that can't be done? It's over. I'm out. I'm done. At this point, it just feels like an executive pay party. It has since they made the announcement in 2018. It just feels like an executive pay party. Let's make certain people get richer off of this as JCPenney's goes downhill. God knows what the fallout is from there. But I think numbers like that, honestly, they just make me sick because she's not $10 million better than somebody else. Okay, my rant's over. Anything you'd add there, Ann?
I guess my other question that I was asking earlier was what is a comparable CEO of like Macy's? What's the CEO of Macy's making? Like,
I'm sure he's making way more than that. I'll try to look it up as we're doing the conversation here, but I'm sure it's way. I'll go to salary.com.
And I would be willing to guess that her salary isn't that high based on JCPenney's stock and how much it's valued in the last 2 years.
Oh God, relatively speaking, actually, it could be really highly paid relative to that value. I'll try to look that up too in terms of seeing what their current market cap is, if it's even calculable. Well, no, because aren't they in bankruptcy? So anyway,